thanks for watching. Today I'm going to focus on the two most important tips I found playing this game. The first is, after Chapter 2, how do you lock onto multiple targets, because it switches after you do the 4 1/4 of oil mission. We're going to discuss how to do that. And we're also going to discuss, once you drained your core, how do you replace it? And I will give you one hint. One way you can do it, obviously, is shooting targets, but there's some other ways to do it as well, and we'll look at that in just a minute. Let's walk through the mechanics of how you do Deadeye. First thing you want to do is you want to hold down the L2 button, and then to lock onto a target, you're going to tap the R2 button, that's the bottom button right here, to aim at a specific target. To activate the Deadeye, what you're going to want to do is press the R3 button. That's simply pressing down on this analog button right there. If you press down on that button, that will activate it. And the next thing you want to do, and this is the toughest part right here, is you want to tag all your targets with R1. So you're going to tap R1 for each target that you want to go after. And then you don't have to fire right away, but if you want to actually fire, you're going to have to tap R2 button, and that will let all the shots that you tagged with R1 go off.
You think there's more of them? I'll check the house. You keep watch out here.
Alright, let's take a look at that tip one more time here. Alright, we're riding here, and we decide to call up our weapon. So we're going to go to the saddle, and then L1. Alright, we've got our weapon drawn. We tap R3 right there. Push the analog stick in, and then tap R1 to tag a target. Sometimes you can tag them multiple times, and then R2 to start shooting. Boom, 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 boom. Simple as that. Okay, so you're in a fight. Your Deadeye is drained. Okay, no problem. We'll get you something to restore it, right? And, alright, you start using your Deadeye, and all of a sudden, it's like, it's going back and forth. You're trying to figure out, well, how do I hit my target? It keeps, it's just like back and forth, I'm having a hard time making a hit here. What do I do? How do I fix this? I mean, I thought I restored my Deadeye, but it's not working very good. The short answer is that you cannot shoot straight because your core is drained. And what do I mean by that? I mean, if you see it looking like this where it's red, that means your core is drained. What you need to do is you need to restore that core to get it to work properly. So you want it to look nice like this. We'll circle it in green there. You want it to be full and white, or at least partially full, because if your core is drained, you cannot shoot straight. It's going to be all wobbly and crazy. So you need to take items that will restore your core, and there's all kinds of ways you can do that. But the key thing is you want to make sure your core is restored, otherwise you're not going to be able to shoot straight. Now that we've covered those two important tips, let's see if we can't put it all together. Alright, L2, R2 to draw, and we're going to push in the R3 button, and we're going to start tagging our targets here with the R1 button. Tag, tag, and let's see if we can't tag another one here. Alright, we've tagged our targets, and of course we're wanted. Let's see if we can get a fourth target here. Going for this target outside of our vision is a mistake, because Deadeye only gets what's in our field of vision. You'll notice the two behind us did not get shot, and we drained our core, which presents a little bit of a problem for us. Okay, we'd like to restore our core here. We've selected this meat right here, plain venison. And what we're going to want to do is select this Eat button right here. And that will restore our core, the white portion of that. So that's half the picture right there. The next part of this involves restoring Deadeye itself. Since we've restored the core, what we're going to do is select an item. In this case, it's Jolly Jack's open chewing tobacco. It says it fully restores Deadeye. That's what we need to restore and fortify slightly. So we're going to use that. We're just going to select the Eat button right there. And now we've fully restored our Deadeye, and we can use it again to tag multiple targets. Here we are. We've got Deadeye activated. All right, R1. There. And we fire away. And once again, as I said earlier, you cannot do 360 where you select a target here and, oh, I see somebody shooting from me behind. Okay, I'm going to get this guy on my left here, which is a good choice. But okay, I fire away, not getting the guy to the right that I initially selected. So one thing to keep in mind there. So hopefully this is a good example of how to tag multiple targets and how not to tag multiple targets. The main point is keep them in your field of vision. A little bit, another tip we have here as far as strategic play, don't engage with the police. If you can avoid engaging with, sheriffs, law enforcement, whatever, it's just going to drive your bounty up, and most of the time you're going to end up dead. In this case, I've played a little bit, so I know how to get out of it. And what you want to do is you want to run out of that red circle as fast as you can. Use any type of cover, or just get out of that circle. Let that wanted meter drain down as low as it can go. And then, of course, at some point, you're going to want to pay that bounty off, or just avoid going to the county, or don't go out at night where the bounty hunters can come after you and take you out. So, yeah, just a little bit on being strategic. Now, if you're in a gun battle on a mission, it's a little bit different. You want to engage in all of the above that we just tried. So let's just reiterate the final tips. You push R3 to activate the Deadeye, and then R1 to tag each target. Obviously, more headshots you can get, the better. And then, of course, R2 to fire away. And you get those mechanics down, you're going to do a lot better in battle. Right? The more enemies you can eliminate, obviously, the better chance you have. Again, you get R3 to activate, R1 to tag, and of course R2 to release. Otherwise, if you run out of core, it sometimes will shoot the sill. So yeah, that's the mechanics of shooting. And then, of course, don't forget to restore your Deadeye core when it's red. Get it to white. Otherwise, you're going to be having some issues. Just restoring Deadeye is not good enough. You're still gonna, if you do that, you're going to be a little bit wobbly. Make sure you restore that core as well. You know what items to use. And of course, that is going to wrap this video up. Thank you again for watching, and good luck in your play.